The Journey of Elias, A Tale of Faith and Redemption. Chapter 1. The Call in the Wilderness. In the days when kings ruled the earth and the voice of the prophets was fading, there lived a man named Elias. He was a simple man, neither rich nor mighty, but his heart burned with a love for the Almighty. He lived in the town of Bethsur, a place once known for its strength, but now ruled by merchants who had forgotten the ways of God. One night, as Elias tended his fields, a great wind tore through the valley. The sky turned crimson, and the ground trembled beneath his feet. Suddenly a voice thundered from above. "Elias, son of Abiram, rise and go to the city of Nineveh, for their wickedness has risen before me. Speak to them, lest I bring judgment upon them." Elias fell to his knees, trembling. Nineveh was a land of heathens, a place where idols were worshipped and sin ruled. "Lord," he whispered, "I am but a humble man. Who will listen to me?" But the voice spoke again. "I will go before you. Obey, and you shall see my power." And so, with nothing but his staff and the tunic on his back, Elias set out on the long road to Nineveh. Chapter 2. The Desert Trial. The journey was treacherous. The road to Nineveh crossed the great desert, where many had perished under the burning sun. Elias walked for days, his lips parched, his body weak. Each night he knelt and prayed, and each morning he found just enough manna lying upon the sand to sustain him. One day, as he walked through a barren canyon, he heard a rustling behind him. Turning, he saw a pack of wild jackals, their eyes gleaming with hunger. Elias knew he had no strength to run. Lifting his staff, he cried, "Lord, you who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, deliver me now." At once the sky darkened, and a great eagle descended from above, its wings wide as a chariot. It let out a mighty cry, and the jackals fled into the shadows. Elias fell to his knees in awe. The Lord had protected him. Chapter 3. The City of Sin. After 40 days, Elias reached Nineveh. The city was vast, its gates towering into the sky. He entered, walking among the people, and his heart sank. The streets were filled with revelry, men bowing before golden idols, and the poor cast aside like refuse. With boldness, Elias stood in the marketplace and cried, "People of Nineveh, hear the word of the Lord. In 40 days this city will be overturned unless you turn from your wicked ways." The people laughed. "Who is this madman?" they jeered. "Does he not know that Nineveh is the greatest city of all? Our gods protect us." But Elias did not waver. For days he walked through the streets, warning of the coming wrath. Some mocked, others ignored him, but a few, just a few, listened. Chapter 4. The King's Repentance. One day news of Elias' words reached the palace of King Asher. The king was a mighty ruler, feared by many. But that night he had a troubling dream, a dream of fire falling from the heavens and his city crumbling to dust. He awoke in a sweat, and the words of the strange prophet haunted him. Summoning Elias, the king asked, "If your God is real, what must we do to be saved?" Elias replied, "Humble yourselves, fast, and turn from evil. Perhaps the Lord will show mercy." To the shock of the people, the king tore his royal robes and declared a fast. From the richest noble to the poorest beggar, all of Nineveh repented. And then the sky, once heavy with impending wrath, cleared. The Lord had heard their cries and spared the city. Chapter 5. The Prophet's Doubt. Elias sat upon a hill outside Nineveh watching. He had expected fire, judgment, destruction, yet the city stood, its people singing praises. "Lord Dorkan," he murmured, "why did you send me if not to bring judgment?" Then the voice of the Lord came once more. "Elias, do you not rejoice when the lost are found? I take no pleasure in the destruction of the wicked, but in their turning back to me. This is my mercy." Tears filled Elias' eyes. He had come expecting wrath, but he had witnessed love. He bowed his head and whispered, "Your will be done, O Lord." Chapter 6. A Legacy of Faith. Elias remained in Nineveh for many years, teaching the people the ways of the Lord. The city flourished, and generations passed down the story of the prophet who had come from the wilderness. And when Elias' days on earth were ended, it is said that a chariot of fire descended from the heavens, and he was taken up, just as Elijah before him. Thus the name of Elias was remembered not for the judgment he proclaimed, but for the mercy he witnessed, a lesson that echoed through the ages. God's love is greater than wrath, and his desire is that none should perish, but that all should come to repentance.